Hi dear, welcome to your favorite audiobook channel Wisdom Flicks. How to Speak Smart. Master the Psychology of Powerful Communication. Why read this book? This book offers a powerful insight that can transform your mindset, boost your habits, and help you unlock your full potential, making it a must-read for anyone who wants real, lasting change. Introduction. Speak Smart. Win hearts. Have you ever watched someone walk into a room and immediately capture attention, without being loud, without trying too hard, and without using complex language? They speak with clarity. They speak with calm confidence. They speak with purpose. That is the essence of speaking smart. Speaking smart isn't about using fancy words or sounding like an expert. It's not about dominating a room or speaking the most. It's about connection, about communicating in a way that makes people listen, remember, and respond. It's about using your words as a tool for influence, trust, and understanding. This book will show you how. Why this book matters in today's world. Your voice is one of your most powerful tools. Whether you're leading a team, navigating a relationship, selling a product, or meeting someone for the first time, your ability to communicate well determines how far you go. And yet, most people struggle with communication. They speak, but they're not heard. They explain, but they're not understood. They try to impress, but they fail to connect. That's not a personal failure. It's a skill gap. And it can be closed, because the truth is, smart communication isn't a talent some are born with. It's a skill that anyone can learn. And at the core of that skill is psychology, understanding how people think, process language, and respond to tone, pacing, and emotion. This book blends communication techniques with behavioral psychology. You'll learn how to speak in ways that influence, inspire, and leave a lasting impression. And you'll do it by understanding the human mind, how it listens, reacts, and remembers. What you'll discover in this book, this is not just a guide for public speaking. It's a blueprint for mastering everyday communication, in meetings, in conversations, in high-stakes moments, and in daily interactions. You will learn how to make a strong first impression within the first few seconds of speaking. Choose words that carry weight and emotional influence. Use tone, pauses, and pacing to hold attention and create presence. Handle tough conversations with calm clarity and authority. Speak in a way that reflects intelligence, emotional control, and confidence. Develop charisma that feels natural, not forced. Adapt your communication style to fit different situations and audiences. Turn everyday talk into impactful, smart dialogue. You'll also learn what to avoid, common habits and patterns that weaken your message, reduce your presence, and sabotage your credibility. Each chapter offers not only insight, but practical tools. You'll find examples, stories, and short exercises that can be applied right away. Who this book is for? This book is for professionals who want to lead better, individuals who want to connect more deeply, creators who want to captivate their audience, and anyone who wants to build confidence in how they speak. It's for those who understand that the way we communicate shapes how we are perceived, respected, and remembered. Whether you're an executive, a teacher, a coach, a student, a content creator, or simply someone who wants to speak more effectively, this book is for you. Why psychology is the foundation. Most people focus on the mechanics of speech, grammar, sentence structure, presentation techniques. Those are helpful, but they are not enough. Smart speakers go deeper. They focus on the mind of the listener. They understand how tone affects trust. They know how timing and pacing influence attention. They use language patterns that trigger action and emotion. They know when to speak, how to listen, and when to say nothing at all. This book will teach you those skills. It's grounded in real psychological principles and designed to show you how people think and respond during conversations, so you can communicate with precision, clarity, and influence. Designed for listening, this book is written to be heard. The structure, rhythm, and tone are designed with narration in mind. That means it flows naturally, sounds clear, and keeps you engaged throughout. You can listen while you work, walk, drive, or relax. Every word is chosen for its clarity and impact. Every sentence is written to sound good in your ears, not just on the page. So, as you listen, allow these ideas to sink in. Let them guide you through real conversations in your life. Let them become tools you use instantly and confidently. You already have what it takes. Smart speaking is not about pretending to be someone else. It's about becoming more of who you already are, refined, aware, and intentional. This book won't ask you to memorize scripts or fake a persona. Instead, it will help you uncover the power of your natural voice. It will show you how to sharpen your message, calm your nerves, and speak in a way that builds trust, influence, and connection. Once you apply what you learn, things will begin to shift that you'll notice people respond differently. They'll listen more carefully. They'll remember what you say, and you'll begin to feel a new kind of confidence, quiet, strong, and unmistakable. That a journey begins here. This is not just a book. It's a transformation that you're about to learn, a skill that affects every area of your life, your relationships, your reputation, your career, your influence, and your confidence. The ability to speak smart can open doors you never thought possible. Each chapter is a step forward. Each insight builds on the last. And each small change you make in how you speak will create a powerful ripple in how others see you, hear you, and remember you. So let's begin this journey together. Let's explore what it truly means to speak smart, so you can connect deeply, express clearly, and lead confidently. Let's speak smart and win hearts. Chapter 1: The Science of First Impressions. We meet someone. We shake hands, exchange a glance, hear a few words, and instantly, we form an opinion. It happens in less than 10 seconds, and often, that opinion sticks. That is the power of a first impression. It's fast, often unconscious, and incredibly difficult to reverse. But here's the good news. You can shape it, intentionally and intelligently. In this chapter, we'll uncover the psychological science behind first impressions, how your voice, words, and presence affect how people perceive you, and the small changes that can make a big difference in how you're remembered. Let's begin by understanding how the mind works in those first few moments. How the brain judges. Fast and automatically, humans are hardwired to make quick judgments. Evolution trained us to scan for safety, power, trustworthiness, and familiarity within seconds of seeing or hearing someone. It's a survival instinct. When you meet someone for the first time, their brain isn't thinking in full sentences. It's scanning, listening, calculating, asking silent questions like, do I trust this person? Do I respect them? Do they seem confident? Are they like me? Should I listen to them? And it's doing all this based on very little data. Researchers at Princeton University found that people form impressions of a person's competence, likability, and trustworthiness within just 1/10 of a second after seeing their face. When you add in voice and speech, the impression deepens, but the timing remains lightning fast. This tells us something important. Your first few words, your tone, your posture, and even your pace of speaking carry more weight than most people realize. The role of voice and tone in first impressions. You don't need to speak perfect English. You don't need a deep voice or a polished accent. But you do need awareness. Your tone says more than your content in the beginning. Imagine two people saying the same sentence. Nice to meet you. The first says it quickly, with tension in the voice, no smile, and their eyes dart away. The second says it warmly, with a steady voice, a small smile, and direct eye contact. Same words, completely different impact. That's because tone communicates emotion. It tells the listener whether you're confident or nervous, open or closed, grounded or rushed. It's the emotional packaging around your words. And people remember the packaging more than the product, especially at first. When you speak smart, you control this packaging. You slow down just enough to sound composed. You pause briefly before responding. You project warmth by softening your tone when needed. You add strength by lowering your voice slightly during key points. These subtle adjustments make you appear thoughtful, trustworthy, and in control. Words that signal confidence. Confidence is not about arrogance. It's about certainty, delivered with ease. Confident speakers don't rush. They don't over-explain. And they don't use filler words like, like, or basically, too often. The problem with filler words is that they signal hesitation. They tell the listener that you're unsure. Even if your message is solid, smart speakers are aware of this. They replace filler with silence. They use shorter sentences. They speak in measured, clear phrases. Instead of saying, I guess I kind of think this could maybe work, they say, I believe this will work. It's not just cleaner, it's more powerful. And it instantly positions the speaker as someone who knows what they're talking about. You don't need to fake certainty. Just trim the excess. Replace vagueness with clarity. Speak as if your words matter, because they do. Posture, eye contact, and micro behaviors. The brain doesn't just listen, it watches. Your posture tells people how you feel about yourself. Your eye contact shows whether you're present. Your facial expressions and small gestures reveal more than you might intend. In the first few moments, posture matters more than people think. Stand or sit upright, shoulders relaxed, and chin slightly raised. Avoid slouching or crossing your arms tightly. These small shifts communicate confidence, openness, and self-respect. Eye contact should be steady but not intense. Look at the other person when they're speaking, and hold eye contact briefly when you're finishing a key point. Avoid darting your eyes or scanning the room. That signals discomfort or distraction. Facial expression also plays a role. A slight, genuine smile goes a long way. It says, "I'm comfortable here, and I'm comfortable with you." These are the nonverbal messages that shape how people feel in your presence. They either make you seem approachable and sharp, or anxious and unsure. The first 7 seconds. A formula for impact in any first impression moment. Whether it's a meeting, an introduction, a video call, or a public event, think of your first 7 seconds as a window of influence. Here's a simple formula to follow. Stand or sit with relaxed confidence. Open body posture, slight smile, steady hands. Make calm, clear eye contact. Not a stare, but connection. Start with a composed tone. Avoid rushing. Begin speaking as if you have all the time you need. Use a clear, simple opener. A polite greeting, a confident "thank you," or a relevant sentence that shows presence. Avoid filler words immediately. Your first sentence sets the tone, literally and psychologically. When you master this small sequence, your first impression does something powerful. It opens the listener's mind. It tells them, this person is calm, prepared, and worth hearing. Rewriting a first impression. Can you recover from a weak first impression? Yes, but it takes more effort, time, and consistency. That's why shaping your first 7 seconds is so important. The human brain resists changing its initial impression. It takes repeated, contrasting experiences to shift that early judgment. So rather than spending energy fixing impressions, it's wiser to create strong ones from the beginning. Practical speaking exercise. The mirror moment. Here's a short exercise to improve your first impression instantly. Stand in front of a mirror. Look yourself in the eye. Take a deep breath. Then say, "Hi, I'm your name. It's great to meet you." Now observe, how do you sound? How do you look? Do your shoulders rise with tension? Does your voice sound tight or calm? Do you rush the words? Repeat the sentence. Try changing your posture, slowing your pace, or smiling slightly. Do this for 5 minutes each day. It may feel odd at first, but over time, you'll notice your voice and presence begin to align naturally. You'll project calm. You'll look composed. And that will become your new default. First impressions are lasting, but they're also powerful. Smart speakers understand that how they begin determines how they're received. They don't leave it to chance. They prepare. They adjust. They deliver with intention. You now have the tools to shape those first crucial moments, psychologically, verbally, and physically. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the words that make your speech stand out, the ones that trigger action, create emotion, and make you sound naturally persuasive. But for now, remember this. You only get one first impression. Make it intelligent, calm, and impactful. Speak smart. From the first word. Chapter 2. Words that work like magic. Words are more than sounds. They're signals. They carry meaning, emotion, and influence. Point 1 sentence can inspire a room. Another can shut down a conversation. The difference? Word choice. In this chapter, we'll explore how words shape perception, how they trigger emotional responses, and how you can choose words that create impact, build trust, and make your speech unforgettable. This is not about using complicated vocabulary. It's about using the right words at the right moment. Let's begin by understanding why words matter so much more than most people realize. Why the right words create the right reaction. The brain doesn't just hear language, it reacts to it. When someone hears a word, it doesn't just register its meaning. It triggers an emotional and physiological response. Say the word danger, and the brain activates its fear center. Say the word imagine, and the brain lights up creative pathways. Say the word you, and the listener becomes more attentive. Smart communicators use this to their advantage. They don't speak for the sake of filling silence. They speak to guide thought, direct emotion, and shape outcomes. The psychology of language. Let's look at a simple example. Compare these two sentences. I think this might work. Maybe. I'm confident this will work. The first sounds unsure. It plants doubt in the listener's mind, even if the idea itself is good. The second inspires certainty. It shows belief, and belief is contagious. Your choice of words reveals your mindset, and your mindset affects how others respond. This isn't just theory. Studies in behavioral psychology show that confident language increases credibility, emotionally charged words create memory, and personalized language increases engagement. In other words, your words don't just say what you mean, they shape what people feel. Words that weaken your message. Many people unknowingly use words that soften their power, weaken their position, or confuse their listener. Let's look at some common offenders. I just wanted to ask. This word minimizes your message. It sounds apologetic, as if you're not entitled to speak. Try removing it. I wanted to ask is stronger and clearer. Maybe I think sort of. These qualifiers signal hesitation. Use them only when needed for diplomacy, not as a default. Instead of I sort of agree, try I agree. Honestly, to be honest. These phrases can make people wonder if you were being dishonest before. Speak with consistent clarity, and honesty will show through your tone and content. Filler words like like, and basically, these dilute your message and distract from your point. Replace them with purposeful pauses. When you remove weak words, your voice becomes more focused, your presence becomes sharper, and your listener becomes more engaged. Power words that command attention. Now, let's flip the coin. Some words naturally hold attention. They are short, clear, emotionally charged, and rooted in action or curiosity. They stimulate the brain. They open ears. Here are a few categories of power words you can begin using right away. Words of certainty. Absolutely, definitely, proven, confident, guaranteed. These create a sense of trust and stability. Emotional triggers. Imagine, discover, secret, powerful, inspiring. These words light up emotional areas of the brain. They make people feel something, and people remember what they feel. Words that create action. Now, start, stop, build, transform. These create a sense of momentum. They're perfect for motivating, persuading, or leading. Personal words. You, yours, together, we, because these pull the listener in. They build connection and engagement by speaking directly to the person, not at them. Power words are not about manipulation. They're about clarity and impact. They help your listener focus on what matters most. And remember it. The magic of framing. What you say matters, but how you say it matters even more. Framing is the art of presenting information in a way that shapes perception. Smart communicators don't just drop facts. They package them. Example, we're running out of time. Versus, we still have 5 minutes to wrap this up efficiently. Same reality. Completely different energy. The first creates stress. The second creates focus and urgency without panic. Here's another example. This might not work, but let's try. Versus, let's test this idea and see what works best. The second version is more empowering. It frames the effort as positive and exploratory, not risky and uncertain. By changing your words, you change how people feel about the same situation. Emotional anchors in language. One of the smartest ways to use words is to anchor emotions. This means using language that links your message to a positive feeling, image, or experience. For example, this solution is simple and stress-free. Our approach saves time and feels effortless. This idea gives you clarity, control, and confidence. Notice the rhythm, the feeling, the mental imagery. Emotional anchors help people remember your message, associate it with something desirable, and stay engaged. You're not just delivering information. You're shaping experience through speech. Speaking tip: replace, don't overload. Many people try to sound smarter by using complex or academic vocabulary. The problem? It often creates distance. It sounds unnatural, and it causes listeners to tune out. Smart speakers simplify, not complicate. Instead of saying, we will synergize our organizational framework toward a mutual optimization goal, say, we'll work together to make things better for everyone. The second version is clearer. It's more human, and it works. The goal is not to impress with language. The goal is to connect through language. And connection always beats complexity. Daily practice. The Power Phrase Journal here's an exercise that will elevate your language instantly. Every day, write down one sentence you use often, at work, in conversation, or in emails. Then rewrite it using stronger, clearer, more intentional words. For example, original. I just wanted to check if you maybe had time. Rewrite. I wanted to check if now's a good time. Or original. I think we might want to explore other options. Rewrite. Let's explore some stronger options. Over time, this simple habit trains your brain to choose better words. Automatically, you'll begin speaking with more clarity, confidence, and calm authority. Words are tools. Use them wisely. Words build bridges, or they burn them. They open minds, or close them. They inspire action, or feed confusion. When you understand the psychology behind language, and when you begin choosing your words with intention, something powerful happens. People start to listen more closely. They respond with more trust. They remember what you say and how you made them feel. That's the magic of smart speaking. In the next chapter, we'll explore another secret of great communicators, the power of pauses, pacing, and silence. Because sometimes it's not what you say, but what you don't say that creates the greatest impact. But for now, remember this: speak with intention. Choose words that lead, and let your language do the work. Chapter 3: The Power of Pauses and Pacing. Great communicators don't just speak well. They know when to stop speaking. In a world where everyone is rushing to speak, silence is rare. And rare things carry power. Pauses and pacing are two of the most underrated tools in smart communication. They create rhythm, build suspense, give clarity, and, perhaps most importantly, make people feel the meaning behind your words. In this chapter, we'll explore how to use silence as a strategy, how pacing affects perception, and how mastering your timing can make your words land with greater impact. Why timing shapes meaning. Words don't exist in isolation. They are delivered in time, measured, moment by moment, in rhythm with breath, thought, and emotion. Say something too quickly, and it sounds rushed. Say something too slowly, and it feels dull. Say something with the right pause, and it becomes unforgettable. The human brain responds not only to what we say, but to how fast, how slow, and when we say it. This is especially important in moments that matter: presentations, negotiations, interviews, and emotional conversations. In those moments, your pacing can either support your message or silently sabotage it. The psychological power of a pause. A pause isn't empty. It's a message. A pause gives your listener time to absorb what you've said. It adds gravity to your words. It signals confidence, control, and intention. Psychologists call this the pause effect. When you pause, the brain pays more attention. Silence activates a small moment of mental reset, and your next words carry more weight. Here's how pauses can work in your favor. To emphasize a point, this is where it changes everything. To let your words sink in, you're not behind. You're just getting started. To create suspense, and the one thing they all had in common was this: to show calm under pressure. Instead of filling silence with nervous words, a pause shows you're composed. The best speakers use silence intentionally. It feels natural, not robotic. It gives their words space to breathe. Fast talkers versus smart speakers. Speaking quickly is often mistaken for confidence. But speed can blur clarity. When someone talks too fast, it creates tension for the listener. Important points are lost. You appear nervous or unprepared. Even if you aren't. On the other hand, speaking too slowly can come across as dull or uncertain. Smart speakers find the balance. They speak at a pace that matches the moment. In high-energy settings, slightly faster pacing adds excitement in serious or emotional moments. Slower pacing adds depth in explanations. A moderate pace improves clarity and retention. The key is to vary your speed with purpose. Use faster pacing to build energy. Use slower pacing to emphasize meaning. And always pause where it matters. The 3 types of pauses. Let's break it down further. There are 3 types of pauses that smart communicators use. The thought pause. This comes right after an important idea. It allows the listener to process and reflect. Example: what you believe about yourself determines how you show up in the world. The emotional pause. This adds weight during personal or impactful moments. It deepens the emotional connection. Example: When I lost everything, I discovered who I truly was. The transition pause this signals a shift in topic, tone, or energy. It helps your audience follow the structure of your message. Example, we've talked about the challenge. Now, let's explore the solution. Learning to recognize and use these pauses gives your voice texture and depth. It creates a rhythm that your listeners instinctively follow. Silence builds trust. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone talks nonstop, without a breath, without a break, without space for you? It feels overwhelming. And sometimes, it feels a bit insecure. People who fear silence often overtalk. They feel the need to fill every second with noise. But here's the truth. Confident people are comfortable with silence. They don't rush. They don't panic if the room gets quiet. They trust their words enough to let them stand on their own. High-stakes conversations, like job interviews, negotiations, or difficult discussions. Pausing can be especially powerful. It gives you time to think. It prevents reactive language. It makes the other person lean in. Silence, when used with intention, can say, "I'm thoughtful. I'm calm. I'm in control." Practical techniques to master pacing. Let's look at a few ways you can train your pacing and use pauses effectively. Point 1. Read aloud with intentional pauses. Choose a short paragraph from a book or article. Read it aloud slowly. After each sentence, pause for one full breath. Notice how it changes the impact. Point 2. Practice the power sentence. Write down one meaningful sentence. Say it out loud. Then pause. Let it echo in the silence. For example, confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and unmistakable. Pause. Let that sit. Point 3. Record yourself speaking. Use your phone to record a 1-minute message. Then listen back. Are you rushing? Are your sentences blending together? Where could you add a pause? With practice, pacing becomes natural. You'll develop an internal rhythm that adapts to your message and audience. When to pause and when not to. While pauses are powerful, overusing them can feel forced. The key is natural rhythm, not robotic spacing. Avoid pausing in the middle of a clear sentence between every word at random points that break the flow. Instead, place your pauses at the end of key thoughts, before or after an important word. When the emotion of a message calls for space, let your breathing guide you. When your body feels relaxed, your speech feels more authentic. Speaking isn't a race. Many people speak fast because they're nervous. They fear silence. They want to prove themselves. But here's something to remember. You don't need to rush. When you know you're worth hearing, speaking slower doesn't mean you're less intelligent. It means you're thoughtful. It means you care about clarity. It means you trust the value of your message. Your audience will follow your pace. If you rush, they scramble to keep up. If you slow down with purpose, they lean in and engage. Final thought. The voice between the words. Smart communication isn't just about speaking well. It's about using time well. It's about recognizing that your voice is more than your words. It's your rhythm, your silence, your energy. When you pause, people listen harder. When you pace with intention, your words land stronger. When you speak with rhythm, your message becomes memorable. Take your time. Speak with presence. And let silence do some of the talking. In the next chapter, we'll explore one of the biggest shifts in smart communication, learning to speak to influence, not to impress. Because the most powerful speakers don't speak to be admired. They speak to make an impact. Chapter 4. Speak to influence, not impress. Many people approach communication with the wrong goal. They speak to sound impressive. They use complicated words, try to prove their intelligence, or speak for too long in an effort to earn approval. But here's the truth. Trying to impress often does the opposite. It creates distance, confusion, and even resistance. Smart communicators don't speak to impress. They speak to influence. Their goal is not to shine, it's to connect. Not to prove their worth, but to move others to think, feel, or act in meaningful ways. In this chapter, we'll explore how to shift your speaking mindset from self-focused to listener-focused. We'll learn how to speak with impact, clarity, and emotional intelligence so that your words don't just sound good, they do good. The ego trap in communication. It's natural to want to be liked. It's natural to want to sound smart. But when your focus is entirely on yourself, how you look, how you sound, what others think of you, you lose connection. You begin to Over-explain, over-talk, use unnecessary jargon, talk more than you listen, prioritize sounding right over being understood. This is the ego trap of communication, and it's easy to fall into, especially in professional settings. But people don't want to be impressed. They want to be understood. They want to feel seen, heard, and valued. Influence happens when the focus shifts away from you and toward them. The listener-centered approach. Think of speaking like a gift. If you give someone a gift that you think is impressive, but it's not what they want or need, it may be expensive, but it's not meaningful. The same applies to your words. Smart speakers ask themselves, what does my listener need to hear? What will help them understand this better? How can I make this message easier, clearer, more useful for them? This mindset shift changes everything. You stop trying to win attention, and instead, you earn respect. You stop filling space, and instead, you fill needs. You stop performing, and you start connecting. Say less, mean more. When people try to impress, they often say too much. They overload the listener with details, explanations, and fancy vocabulary. The result? Confusion. Influential speakers do the opposite. They say less, but mean more. They are concise. They choose words that are easy to follow. They make their point, then pause, giving space for reflection. Consider these two ways of delivering the same message. So, based on the data and considering the quarterly projections, I think we might want to potentially restructure the team's approach to maximize future performance metrics. Let's simplify the team's approach. It'll help us perform better next quarter. The first tries to impress. The second aims to influence. The second will be remembered. The influence formula: clarity plus emotion plus action. Let's break influence into a simple formula. Influence equals clarity plus emotion plus action. Clarity: are your words easy to understand? Is your message clear, focused, and structured? Emotion: do your words connect emotionally? Do they make people feel something? Hope, excitement, curiosity, urgency? Action: do your words lead to something? Do they inspire the listener to take a step, make a decision, or think differently? When you combine clarity, emotional connection, and purposeful direction, you create real influence. You don't just talk. You guide. You inspire. You lead. Speak with the listener's language. If you want to influence someone, you have to meet them where they are. That means using language they understand. It means knowing their level of knowledge, their concerns, their values, and adapting your message accordingly. This is called empathetic communication. For example, if you're speaking to a team of engineers, your examples might be technical. If you're speaking to customers, you might focus on ease, benefits, and experience. If you're talking to a friend, your tone might be casual and warm. Influence grows when the listener feels like you're speaking with them, not at them. Confidence. Without arrogance, some people mistake influence for dominance. They think that speaking with force will make them more convincing. But real influence doesn't require volume. It requires certainty. You don't have to speak loudly. You don't have to interrupt. You don't have to overpower others. You simply need to speak with calm, clear confidence. When your voice reflects inner certainty, people listen. This kind of confidence doesn't push others down. It lifts the message up. It says, I believe in what I'm saying, and I believe you'll see its value too. That balance, confidence, without arrogance, is the mark of a true leader. Ask more. Tell less. One of the most powerful ways to influence people is by asking the right questions. Why? Because questions invite engagement. They show respect. They turn passive listeners into active participants. Smart communicators don't just lecture. They ask, guide, and listen. What's your take on this? What matters most to you right now? What's holding you back from making that decision? How do you see it? These questions open doors. They build trust, and they shift the conversation from performance to partnership. Remember, people support what they help create. Storytelling over showing off. One of the best ways to influence is through storytelling. Stories bypass resistance. They slip past logic and reach emotion. They allow the listener to see themselves in your message. Trying to impress often sounds like bragging, but telling a story, even about your own challenges, feels human, relatable, real. Don't say, I'm a highly accomplished expert in this field. Say, 10 years ago, I struggled with the same problem you're facing. Here's what helped me. That's influence that you're not showing off. You're showing understanding. You're inviting the listener into a journey they can relate to. Influence lasts. Impression fades. Impressive words fade quickly. Influential words stay in the mind, and sometimes in the heart. When you speak to influence, you plant seeds. You shape how people think. You earn their trust. You move them to act. Impression is fleeting. Influence is lasting. Practical shift. The influence reframe next time you're preparing to speak, whether it's in a meeting, a pitch, a conversation, or a presentation. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. Who am I speaking to? What do they care about? What are their challenges? What do I want them to feel, know, or do? What's the purpose behind my message? How can I serve them through this message? How can I make this easy, helpful, or inspiring? These questions reframe your approach. They pull you out of your own head and into the heart of your listener. Final thought. Speak to serve, not to shine. Smart communication is not about proving yourself. It's about offering something valuable: insight, clarity, encouragement, a better way forward. When you speak with that intent, your words will naturally carry more power. You won't need to impress, because people will feel your presence. They'll feel your purpose. And that's what real influence sounds like. In the next chapter, we'll explore another dimension of communication that speaks even louder than words: body language and nonverbal cues. Because the smartest things we say are often unspoken. Chapter 5: Body language that speaks louder than words. Before you say a single word, your body has already spoken. It has revealed your confidence or your anxiety. It has signaled openness or discomfort. It has invited connection or built distance. Whether you realize it or not, you are always communicating. In fact, studies suggest that over 70% of communication is nonverbal. That means what you say matters, but how you carry yourself might matter even more. In this chapter, we'll explore the powerful, often silent language of the body. We'll break down posture, eye contact, gestures, facial expressions, and movement, and learn how to use each of them to support your message, increase your influence, and project presence. Let's begin by understanding why body language is so powerful. Why the body speaks first. Human beings are wired for visual interpretation. Long before language developed, we relied on physical cues to determine intent, safety, and connection. We still do. When you meet someone, your brain scans their posture, facial tension, hand movements, and eye behavior. All of this happens before you consciously register their words. This is called thin slicing, a psychological process where people make judgments based on quick, minimal exposure. And body language plays a central role in those judgments. Smart communicators know this. They align their words with their presence. Because when body language contradicts spoken language, people believe the body. The confident posture. Let's start with the foundation. Posture. Your posture tells people how you feel about yourself. Standing tall signals confidence. Slouching signals insecurity. A lifted chin and open chest suggests self-respect and readiness. Crossed arms and hunched shoulders suggest defensiveness or anxiety. Confidence is not about being stiff or forced. It's about being grounded. Practice standing with feet shoulder width apart, shoulders relaxed, not raised, chin parallel to the ground, spine aligned. Neither leaning forward nor too far back. Whether you're standing in a room or sitting in a meeting, your posture silently communicates your mindset. Aim to appear calm, alert, and open. Eye contact, connection or disconnection. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul. But in communication, they're more like the bridge between speaker and listener. Eye contact does several things. Builds trust, signals confidence, creates connection, demonstrates presence. Too little eye contact can make you appear nervous, distracted, or dishonest. Too much can feel intense or even aggressive. The key is natural balance. When speaking one-on-one, hold eye contact for a few seconds at a time, then briefly look away before returning. This mirrors natural human rhythm. When speaking to a group, shift your gaze from one person to another every few sentences. Let each person feel momentarily included. Eye contact says, "I see you. I'm here with you. And I'm paying attention." That alone can make your message more powerful. Facial expressions. Emotion in motion. Your face carries your message, often more than your words do. A slight smile can soften your presence. Raised eyebrows can express curiosity. Tight lips or a furrowed brow can signal stress, even if your words don't. Great communicators are emotionally congruent. Their faces match their message. If you're delivering something warm or inspiring, your expression should reflect it. If you're discussing something serious, your tone and expression should align with that gravity. Be aware of resting expressions. As well, some people unknowingly wear tension, boredom, or disinterest on their faces when listening. Start noticing what your face does when you're not speaking. A soft, engaged, and relaxed face communicates presence and attention, even in silence. Hand gestures, the language of emphasis. Hands are powerful amplifiers. They bring rhythm to your words and help clarify meaning. Used well, hand gestures emphasize key points, help organize your message, reflect authenticity, make your delivery more dynamic. For example, a palm-up gesture conveys openness and honesty. A hand-over-heart gesture shows sincerity. A pointing finger can feel aggressive. Use it sparingly. Holding both hands slightly apart suggests balance and comparison. The most effective gestures are natural, purposeful, and aligned with your speech. Avoid fidgeting, repetitive movements, or holding your hands behind your back. Keep them visible and relaxed. Let them support your message without stealing the spotlight. Movement and space. Presence and action. How you move and how you use space affects how people perceive your presence. Standing still, rooted in place, can suggest calm authority. But moving too much, pacing, or swaying can be distracting and signal nervousness. When speaking, move with intention, not restlessness. Take 1 or 2 steps when changing topics. Avoid rocking side to side or shifting your weight constantly. Use space to command presence, not hide. If you're seated, lean forward slightly when listening or making an important point. This shows engagement and interest. Remember, presence is not about filling space. It's about owning it. Mirroring. Building subconscious trust. One of the most subtle but powerful nonverbal tools is mirroring. Mirroring means subtly matching the other person's body language, posture, gestures, or pace of speech. It builds subconscious rapport. It signals that you're in sync. That you've probably seen this happen in close friendships or romantic relationships. People start mirroring each other naturally. You can use it intentionally, too. If someone leans in, lean in slightly. If someone uses open gestures, you do the same. If someone speaks calmly and slowly, match their tempo. Don't copy them exactly. The key is subtlety. Mirroring works when it feels natural and respectful, not forced. It creates what psychologists call nonverbal empathy, a quiet way of saying, we're on the same wavelength. Congruence. When body and words align, the most powerful communication happens when everything matches: your tone, your posture, your eyes, your gestures, your words. When all of these align, your message becomes believable, memorable, and trustworthy. But when body language contradicts your message, people feel the disconnect. They may not know why, but they'll sense something is off. That's why authenticity is essential. You don't need to act like someone else. You don't need to perform. You simply need to be fully present in body and mind. Quick practice. The 3-minute mirror technique. Here's a simple daily practice to sharpen your body language. Stand in front of a mirror. Speak 1 paragraph aloud from a script, article, or your own notes. Watch your posture, gestures, and expressions. Ask, do I look open? Do I seem confident? Am I overusing any movement? Now, speak the same paragraph again. This time, slower, calmer, with conscious movement. Do this for just 3 minutes a day. Over time, your body language will become more natural, more aware, and more aligned with your message. Final thought. Let your body be your ally. Words are only part of communication. Your body speaks, too. And when used well, it doesn't just support your message, it elevates it. Speak with your whole self. Be aware of the signals you send, even in silence. And remember, the smartest communication is not always spoken out loud. Sometimes it's in a steady gaze, a calm stance, a soft nod, a confident breath before the first word. In the next chapter, we'll dive into one of the most overlooked superpowers in communication: the art of listening. Because speaking smart isn't just about expression, it's also about perception. Chapter 6: Smart Listening is smart speaking. We often think of great communicators as great speakers, but the smartest communicators are great listeners first. In fact, the most impactful conversations don't begin with words. They begin with attention. And nothing says "I value you" more than truly listening. Smart listening is not passive. It's not about sitting quietly and waiting for your turn to speak. It's active, purposeful, strategic. When you listen well, you don't just understand the other person. You gain insight. You build trust. You respond with more precision and less assumption. In this chapter, we'll explore why listening is the gateway to smarter speaking. You'll learn how to listen with intent, what most people get wrong about listening, and how tuning in can elevate your words, relationships, and results. The listening illusion: most people think they're good listeners. In reality, they're often just waiting for their turn to talk. They nod. They make eye contact. But internally, they're planning their response, rehearsing their next point, or silently judging the speaker. This is pseudo-listening, a surface-level appearance of listening without genuine attention. And it creates disconnection. Smart communicators know that real listening requires presence. It requires putting your own thoughts on pause and tuning in fully to someone else's. When you do this, something powerful happens. The other person feels seen. They open up. They listen to you more deeply in return. Why listening is a leadership skill: listening isn't just polite. It's persuasive. It's strategic. And it's deeply human. Here's what happens when you truly listen. You gather valuable information. You detect unspoken concerns or emotions. You build credibility and connection. You respond with insight. Instead of assumption, leaders listen, not just to solve problems, but to understand people. And in doing so, they earn respect and influence. When you speak after listening, your words are more relevant, more accurate, and more impactful. That's smart communication. Levels of listening: not all listening is created equal. Let's look at the 3 levels of listening and how to reach the highest. 1.1. Distracted listening: you're physically present, but mentally elsewhere. Your eyes might be on the speaker, but your mind is on your phone, your task list, or your next meeting. This is where most people operate, and it breaks connection. Point 2. Functional listening: you hear the words. You process the facts. You're technically listening, but not emotionally engaging. This is useful for quick interactions, but not for influence. Point 3. Deep listening: you're fully present. You listen not just to the words, but to the tone, the emotion, the pauses. You ask yourself, what are they really trying to say? What matters to them right now? This is where connection happens. This is where influence begins. This is where smart speakers grow their power, by listening before responding. The power of the pause. Sometimes, the most powerful way to listen is to stay silent a little longer. After someone finishes speaking, pause for just 2 or 3 seconds. This creates space. That space does 3 things. It shows you're not rushing to respond. It allows the other person to expand or clarify their point. It makes your eventual response feel more thoughtful and intentional. In a world of fast talkers and constant interruption, a simple pause can be disarming. It's a subtle form of respect, and respect builds influence. How to listen like a pro. Let's break down 5 practical techniques for smart, active listening. Point 1. Be fully present. Put away your phone. Minimize distractions. Turn your body slightly toward the speaker. Let your posture say, "You have my full attention." 2. Listen with your eyes. Watch for nonverbal cues, facial expressions, hand gestures, body tension. People often say more with their body than with their mouth. Point 3. Reflect and rephrase before offering your response. Briefly summarize what you heard. Example: so what I'm hearing is that you're feeling frustrated by the delay. This confirms understanding and makes the speaker feel acknowledged. Point 4. Ask open-ended questions instead of rushing in with advice. Ask, "Can you tell me more about that? What's been the biggest challenge? How would you like to move forward?" Smart speakers guide conversations, not by dominating them, but by inviting insight. Point 5. Respond to emotion, not just words. If someone sounds upset, don't ignore the feeling. Acknowledge it. Say, "That sounds really frustrating," or "I can tell this matters to you." When people feel emotionally understood, they become more open, receptive, and respectful. Listening builds trust faster than speaking. People don't remember everything you say, but they always remember how they felt when speaking to you. When you listen without interrupting, correcting, or rushing, you make people feel valued. That sense of value is the fastest path to trust. And trust is the foundation of all influence, whether in personal relationships, business, or leadership. Think about the people you trust most. Chances are, they're not the loudest in the room. They're the ones who hear you, see you, and respond with care. That's the kind of communicator people follow. The listening-speaking connection. You may be wondering, how does listening improve your speaking? Here's how. It helps you choose the right words for this audience. It helps you address what actually matters, not what you assume matters. It shows that your response is customized, not rehearsed. It makes your message feel more personal, relevant, and helpful. When you listen first, you speak with precision. Your words feel tailored. Your tone is calibrated. Your message lands better. Smart speakers don't guess what to say. They listen their way into it. The listening advantage in difficult conversations. When emotions run high, listening becomes even more powerful. Most arguments escalate because people want to be heard, but no one is truly listening. You can disarm tension simply by slowing down and saying, "Help me understand where you're coming from. I hear you. Let's work through this together. Tell me what you need right now." You'd be amazed how quickly anger softens in the presence of real attention. In high-stakes communication, listening becomes your secret weapon. Listening to what's not said. Some of the most important communication is silent. Pay attention to long pauses, avoided topics, tone shifts, vague answers. These are clues. They tell you where emotion lives, where hesitation exists, where opportunity hides. Smart listeners hear the unspoken as clearly as the spoken. Final thought. Speak less, understand more. In a noisy world, listening is rare, and rare is valuable. It's not weakness. It's not passivity. It's strength, focus, mastery. Listening earns you respect before you even say a word. It makes your next sentence sharper, your response more relevant, and your message more trusted. Remember, speak when it adds value. Listen when it adds understanding. And do both with presence and purpose. In the next chapter, we'll dive into how to craft messages that stick, so your words are not only heard, but remembered. Chapter 7. The Psychology of Charisma. Charisma is often seen as a mysterious, almost magical quality, something you either have or you don't. But the truth is far more empowering. Charisma is a set of behaviors and mindsets that anyone can learn and cultivate. At its core, charisma is about connection. It's the ability to draw people in, make them feel valued, and inspire their trust and admiration. Charisma isn't about flashing charm or putting on a show. It's about authentic presence and emotional influence. In this chapter, we'll explore the psychology behind charisma, break down its key components, and uncover practical ways to develop your own magnetic presence so that your words and actions naturally attract, influence, and inspire. What is charisma? Really, charisma is the invisible force that makes people want to listen to you, follow you, and be around you. It's both an energy and a skill. Psychologists define charisma as a combination of presence, being fully attentive and engaged in the moment, power, demonstrating confidence, and competence, warmth, showing genuine care and empathy. When these three qualities come together, charisma emerges. Presence without warmth can feel intimidating or cold. Warmth without power can feel weak or vague. Power without presence can feel arrogant or disconnected. True charisma balances all three, creating a magnetic blend of trust, respect, and likability. The brain science behind charisma. Charisma isn't just a feeling, it's a neurological phenomenon. When you interact with a charismatic person, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which creates feelings of trust and closeness. Their presence literally rewires your brain to want to connect. Neuroscientists have found that charismatic individuals activate mirror neurons in others. These neurons cause people to unconsciously mimic facial expressions, gestures, and emotions, deepening rapport. Put simply, charisma spreads. It's contagious. Understanding this gives you the power to intentionally influence others' feelings by how you show up. The three pillars of charisma. Let's dive deeper into the three pillars that form the foundation of charisma and how to practice each. Point 1. Presence. The gift of attention. Charismatic people are present, truly here, truly focused. Presence means you give others your undivided attention. You listen with your whole body and mind. You eliminate distractions and tune in fully. How to practice presence. Make eye contact that's warm but steady. Listen actively without interrupting or planning your reply. Use open body language to Show you're engaged, let your voice reflect calm confidence, and genuine interest presence makes others feel important. It says, you matter. I'm here with you. 2. Power. The quiet strength. Power isn't about domination or loudness. It's about quiet confidence rooted in competence and calm. Charismatic people hold themselves with assurance. They speak clearly and deliberately. They take space without shrinking or sprawling. How to develop power. Master your body language. Stand tall, shoulders back, feet grounded. Speak with measured pace and volume. Prepare thoroughly so you speak from knowledge, not guesswork. Maintain calm composure even under pressure. Power commands respect and signals that you can be trusted to lead. Point 3. Warmth. The heartbeat of connection. Warmth is what makes charisma human and relatable, that it's expressed through kindness, empathy, and openness. Charismatic people smile genuinely, use gentle touch when appropriate, and express positive regard. How to cultivate warmth. Smile in a way that reaches your eyes. Use affirming words and gestures. Show curiosity about others' experiences and feelings. Validate emotions instead of dismissing or minimizing them. Warmth builds trust and lowers barriers. It says, I'm on your side. You're safe with me. The charisma cycle. Presence, power, warmth, and action. Charisma is not static. It's a dynamic interplay of presence, power, and warmth, flowing naturally in conversation. Imagine a cycle. You focus fully. Presence. You speak with confidence. Power. You respond with empathy, warmth. Then back to focus, confidence, empathy. This rhythm creates a magnetic interaction where people feel heard, respected, and energized. Common charisma myths. Debunked. Myth number 1. Charisma is only for extroverts. False. Introverts can be deeply charismatic by cultivating presence and warmth. Myth. Number 2. You have to be loud or flashy. False. Quiet charisma is often more powerful and lasting. Myth number 3. Charisma is fake or manipulative. False. True charisma is authentic. It requires sincerity and self-awareness. Practical exercises to build charisma. Here are simple, effective ways to develop your charisma starting today. Mindful presence. Practice being fully engaged during every conversation. Put away distractions and focus deeply. Power pose. Spend 2 minutes in a confident posture before important meetings. Stand like a leader. Warm smile. Practice smiling genuinely at people, focusing on softening your eyes and lifting your cheeks. Active listening. Ask open questions and listen deeply, mirroring the speaker's tone and energy. Storytelling. Share personal stories that show vulnerability and strength. Stories make you relatable and memorable. Charisma and emotional intelligence. Charisma is deeply connected to emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage emotions, both your own and others. Develop your emotional awareness by noticing your emotional triggers, managing your reactions, calmly observing others' feelings with empathy, responding with care and appropriateness. Emotional intelligence amplifies your charisma by helping you navigate social dynamics with grace and influence. The lasting impact of charisma. Charisma is more than a skill. It's a force that shapes relationships, careers, and lives. When you develop charisma, you don't just get people to listen. You inspire them to follow, support, and believe in you. Charisma opens doors. It builds bridges. It makes your ideas not only heard, but embraced. Remember, charisma isn't magic. It's a set of habits and mindsets. And you have the power to grow it every day. Final thought. Your charisma is your communication power. Your words matter. But your presence, power, and warmth amplify those words into lasting influence. That be why cultivating charisma. You create a space where your communication becomes magnetic, authentic, and effective. So step into your charisma. Be present, be confident, be warm, and watch as your ability to speak smart and win hearts grows stronger than ever. Chapter 8. Handling difficult conversations like a pro. Difficult conversations are inevitable. Whether it's delivering critical feedback, discussing sensitive issues, or navigating conflict, how you handle these moments can make all the difference. For many, the idea of a tough conversation triggers anxiety, avoidance, or defensive reactions. But smart communicators see difficult conversations as opportunities to build trust, clarify misunderstandings, and deepen relationships. In this chapter, We'll uncover the psychology behind difficult conversations and explore practical strategies to approach them with confidence, empathy, and clarity. You'll learn how to prepare, stay calm, listen actively, and guide the dialogue toward constructive outcomes. Why difficult conversations matter. Avoiding difficult conversations might seem easier in the short term, but it often creates bigger problems later. Unaddressed issues breed resentment, confusion, and mistrust. Important topics go unexplored. Relationships stagnate or deteriorate. Handling difficult conversations well prevents misunderstandings, builds respect, and transparency, models maturity and emotional intelligence, opens the door to solutions and growth. The ability to engage in tough talks thoughtfully is a hallmark of leadership, whether in personal life, business, or community. Understanding emotional triggers. Difficult conversations often stir strong emotions: fear, anger, shame, or guilt. These emotions can hijack logic, causing reactions that damage the conversation. To handle tough talks effectively, you need to recognize and manage these triggers in yourself and others. Tips for emotional awareness: pause and breathe. Take a moment to collect yourself before and during the conversation. Label your emotions. Identify what you're feeling. I'm feeling anxious, or I'm frustrated, to reduce their intensity. Empathize with the other person. Remember, they might feel vulnerable or defensive, too. Managing emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means staying present and responding, not reacting. Prepare with purpose. Preparation is your best defense and your greatest tool. Before the conversation, clarify your goal. What outcome do you want? Be specific. Gather facts, not assumptions. Base your points on observable behavior or events, not judgments. Plan your opening. How will you start? A calm, respectful tone sets the stage. Anticipate reactions. Think about how the other person might respond and how you'll handle it. Preparation gives you confidence and keeps the conversation focused. Use I statements, not you statements. Language shapes the tone of the conversation. I statements express your experience without blaming. I felt concerned when the report was late. I need clearer communication about deadlines. Avoid you statements that put the other person on the defensive. You're always late. You don't care about this project. This subtle shift reduces conflict and invites collaboration. Create a safe space for dialogue. People open up when they feel safe. Establish safety by choosing a private, neutral location, starting with a positive or appreciative comment, using calm, respectful body language, inviting the other person to share their perspective. Example: opening. I wanted to talk because I value our working relationship and there's something I think we can improve together. When people feel respected, even difficult topics become easier to discuss. Listen more than you speak in difficult conversations. Listening is your greatest asset. Let the other person speak without interruption. Reflect back what you hear too. Confirm understanding. Validate feelings, even if you disagree. I see this as important to you. Ask open-ended questions to explore their point of view. Active listening disarms defensiveness and builds mutual respect. Manage your tone and body language. Your tone can either escalate or calm tension. Speak softly and steadily. Avoid sarcasm, raised voices, or abruptness. Use open posture, uncrossed arms, relaxed shoulders. Maintain eye contact without staring when your body and voice communicate calm and respect. The other person mirrors your demeanor. Address the issue, not the person. Keep the focus on the problem, not the personality. Avoid personal attacks or character judgments. Stick to specific behaviors and their impact. For example, instead of "you're careless," say, "when deadlines are missed, it affects the whole team's progress." This keeps the conversation constructive and solution-focused. Know when to take breaks if emotions run too high. It's okay to pause the conversation. Say something like, "I think we both need a moment to gather our thoughts. Can we take a short break and come back?" Taking space prevents escalation and gives everyone time to reset. And with clarity and agreement, summarize what was discussed and agree on next steps. Clear agreements reduce confusion and build accountability. Example: so we agree to update each other weekly on project status, and I'll share the new deadlines by Friday. Does that sound good? Ending positively reinforces collaboration. Practice compassion and patience. Difficult conversations rarely go perfectly. They're messy, emotional, and require practice. Be patient with yourself and others. Approach every tough talk as a learning experience. Compassion fosters connection, even when disagreement remains. Final thought. Embrace the challenge. Handling difficult conversations well is one of the smartest communication skills you can develop. It takes courage, emotional intelligence, and practice. But when you approach tough talks like a pro, you transform potential conflict into opportunity. You build trust where there was doubt. You create clarity where there was confusion. You turn tension into teamwork. The next time a difficult conversation looms, remember, this is your moment to lead with grace and speak with power. Chapter 9. Speak smart. In every setting, communication is not one size fits all. What works in a casual chat with friends won't always work in a boardroom. What impresses at a networking event might fall flat in a team meeting. What persuades your boss won't necessarily resonate with your clients. The smartest communicators know how to read the room and adjust their style to fit the setting, audience, and purpose. In this chapter, we'll explore practical strategies to help you speak smart and confidently in a variety of common settings. Whether you're navigating casual conversations, professional presentations, conflict situations, or social gatherings, you'll learn how to tailor your message, tone, and delivery for maximum impact. Know your setting. The first step to smart speaking. Before you say a word, take a moment to assess your environment. Ask yourself, who am I speaking to? What's the purpose of this conversation? What's the expected tone or style here? What cultural or social norms might influence communication? Understanding context shapes your approach and helps you avoid missteps. For example, a formal business meeting calls for concise, professional language, while a friendly team brainstorming session invites openness and humor. Speaking smart in casual conversations. Casual chats, whether with friends, family, or acquaintances, are the foundation of social connection. Speak smart here. Be authentic and relaxed. Use simple, clear language. Listen actively and respond with empathy. Share stories and experiences that invite engagement. Avoid controversial topics unless you know the group well. Remember, casual doesn't mean careless. Your tone and word choice still matter. Mastering professional settings. In the workplace, communication often carries higher stakes. Speak smart in professional settings. Prepare key points ahead of time. Use clear, concise language. Avoid jargon unless everyone understands it. Align your message with company goals and values. Show respect through polite, inclusive language. Be mindful of your tone. Aim for confident yet approachable. Use evidence and examples to support your ideas. Professional communication builds your credibility and influences decision-making. Public speaking and presentations. Public speaking can be intimidating, but it's one of the most powerful ways to influence and inspire. Speak smart on stage. Know your audience's interests and pain points. Structure your talk with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Use stories and visuals to illustrate key points. Practice pacing. Speak neither too fast nor too slow. Use deliberate pauses for emphasis. Engage your audience with questions or interactive elements. Prepare for questions and handle them calmly. Confidence on stage grows with preparation and presence. Networking and social events. Networking is about building relationships, not just exchanging business cards. Speak smart in networking. Approach conversations with genuine curiosity. Ask open-ended questions. What brought you here? Or what projects are you excited about? Share concise but interesting stories about yourself. Listen actively and find common ground. Avoid dominating the conversation. Follow up afterward to build rapport. Smart networking creates lasting connections, not just fleeting impressions. Difficult conversations and conflict settings. We covered difficult conversations in Chapter 8. But here's a quick refresher on speaking smart during conflict. Stay calm and composed. Use I statements to express your perspective. Listen fully before responding. Avoid blame or sarcasm. Focus on solutions, not problems. Know when to pause or walk away if needed. Handling conflict with grace enhances your reputation as a mature and reliable communicator. Virtual communication, emails, calls, and video. In today's digital world, virtual communication is everywhere. Speak smart online. Be clear and concise in emails. Use bullet points and headings. Use polite greetings and closings. Avoid sarcasm or humor that may be misread during calls or video meetings. Eliminate distractions and focus fully. Use a clear, Friendly tone. Mute yourself when not speaking to avoid background noise. Be mindful of your body language on camera. Sit upright, smile, and maintain eye contact with the lens. Virtual communication requires extra care to build connection without physical presence. Speaking smart across cultures in an increasingly globalized world, cultural sensitivity is crucial. To speak smart across cultures. Research cultural norms regarding communication styles. Be aware of different meanings of gestures and expressions. Use clear, simple language to avoid misunderstandings. Show respect for differing opinions and customs. Ask questions to clarify rather than assume. Be patient with language barriers. Cultural intelligence expands your reach and enriches your communication. Adjusting your tone and energy influence how your message is received. In high energy settings, like sales pitches or motivational talks, enthusiasm is key. Use varied pitch, animated gestures, and strong eye contact. In calm settings, like counseling or team feedback, a softer tone and slower pace foster trust and safety. Reading your audience's energy and matching it enhances your impact. The power of authenticity. No matter the setting, the smartest communicators remain authentic. People sense when you're genuine, and authenticity builds trust. Be yourself, honor your values, and speak with conviction. Authenticity is the foundation on which all other communication skills rest. Final thought. Practice makes adaptable. The ability to speak smart in every setting doesn't come overnight. It requires practice, observation, and reflection. Start by experimenting with small adjustments, changing your tone, simplifying language, or asking more questions. Over time, you'll develop the agility to navigate any conversation with confidence and skill. Remember, communication is a dynamic dance. Stay present, be curious, and adapt with grace. Chapter 10. Speak smart. Think smart. The way you speak is a direct reflection of how you think. Clear, powerful communication begins long before you open your mouth. It starts in the mind. Your thoughts shape your words. Your mindset shapes your message. And the clarity of your thinking shapes the impact of everything you say. To speak smart, you must first think smart. In this chapter, we'll dive into the intimate connection between thought and speech. You'll learn how to cultivate clear, focused thinking, avoid common cognitive traps, and harness mental frameworks that empower your communication to be sharp, persuasive, and authentic. Why thinking matters for speaking. Have you ever caught yourself rambling, stumbling over words, or losing your audience? Often, the problem isn't your speaking skills. It's unclear thinking. When your thoughts are scattered, your words follow suit. When your mind is cluttered, your message becomes muddled. When your ideas lack structure, your communication loses power. Thinking smart means organizing your ideas before expressing them. It means being aware of your mental state and adjusting accordingly. This mental clarity translates into confident, effective speaking. The mental preparation behind every conversation. Before you speak, ask yourself, what is my main message? What do I want my listener to know, feel, or do? What are the key points that support my message? How can I express these points clearly and concisely? Answering these questions helps focus your thinking and sharpens your speech. Mental preparation might involve jotting down notes, rehearsing your ideas silently, or simply taking a moment to center yourself. Cognitive biases that cloud thinking and how to avoid them. Our brains naturally take shortcuts, called cognitive biases. While helpful for quick decisions, biases can distort thinking and weaken communication. Some common traps to watch for: confirmation bias, favoring information that supports your beliefs and ignoring opposing facts. This can make your message one-sided or unconvincing. Assumption trap, jumping to conclusions without sufficient evidence. This leads to misunderstandings. Overgeneralization, using broad statements that don't hold true in all cases, which can alienate listeners. Emotional reasoning, letting feelings override facts, causing unclear or reactive speech. To think smart, cultivate awareness of these biases. Ask yourself, am I considering all relevant information? Could I be wrong? What evidence supports this idea? How might others see this differently? Structuring your thoughts for clarity. One of the simplest ways to think smart is to organize your ideas clearly. Use mental frameworks like the 3-point rule. Limit your message to 3 key ideas. Our brains best remember groups of 3. The problem-solution-result framework. Identify a problem, offer a solution, and explain the result. The why, what, how structure. Start with why the topic matters, explain what it is, and describe how to act. These frameworks help your brain and your audience follow your logic effortlessly. The power of critical thinking. Critical thinking means analyzing information objectively and making reasoned judgments that it involves. Asking questions rather than accepting assumptions, evaluating evidence, carefully recognizing logical fallacies, considering alternative perspectives. When you practice critical thinking, your speech becomes more nuanced, credible, and persuasive. Mindfulness. Clearing mental clutter. A busy, distracted mind cannot speak smart. Mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment, helps clear mental clutter and sharpen focus. Before important conversations, take a few mindful breaths to center yourself. Notice racing thoughts and gently bring your attention back. Mindfulness reduces anxiety and boosts mental clarity, enabling smarter, calmer communication. Thinking ahead. Anticipate questions and reaction. Smart thinkers plan for dialogue, not just monologue. Anticipate how your message might be received. Consider possible questions, objections, or misunderstandings. Prepare clear, concise responses. This foresight helps you stay composed, avoid surprises, and maintain control of the conversation. Using metaphors and analogies for mental clarity. Complex ideas become easier to understand when framed with relatable metaphors or analogies. For example, explaining teamwork as a rowing crew. Everyone must row in sync. Describing focus as a flashlight beam cutting through the dark. Crafting mental images helps both you and your audience grasp abstract concepts clearly. Thinking smart boosts confidence. When your thoughts are clear and organized, your confidence soars that you're less likely to stumble over words or get flustered. Your delivery becomes steady, your message persuasive. Thinking smart reduces self-doubt and hesitation, allowing your natural voice to shine. Final thought. Speak smart by training your mind. Speaking smart isn't just a skill of the mouth, it's a discipline of the mind. By sharpening your thinking, you lay the foundation for all effective communication. Practice mental clarity, question assumptions, organize your ideas, and cultivate mindfulness. When your mind is clear, your words follow, and you communicate with power, purpose, and authenticity. Conclusion. Your voice is your superpower. As we come to the close of this journey into mastering the art of speaking smart, it's time to reflect on one undeniable truth. Your voice is more than just sound. It is your superpower. Every word you speak carries the potential to inspire, influence, and transform not only others, but yourself. Your voice is the bridge between your inner world and the outside world. It shapes your relationships, your opportunities, and your legacy. This power is not reserved for a select few. It lives within you, waiting to be fully unleashed. Embrace the power within you. You've learned how words can work like magic. You've discovered the silent strength of body language. You've explored the art of listening, the psychology of charisma, and the wisdom of clear thinking. All these tools and insights are now part of your communication toolkit. But the real power comes from you, your authenticity, your courage, your presence. When you speak smart, you are not just sharing information. You are connecting heart to heart, mind to mind. Your voice shapes your world. Consider how every interaction you have ripples outward. A well-chosen word can brighten someone's day. A thoughtful question can open new possibilities. A confident statement can inspire action. You have the ability to lead conversations that matter, to build bridges where there were divides, and to spark change with your voice. Your voice is your unique signature. It is your story, your truth, your light. Overcoming fear and doubt. Many hesitate to speak up because of fear, doubt, or past experiences. But remember, the greatest speakers were once learners. The most confident communicators once felt unsure. Speaking smart means stepping beyond fear, embracing imperfection and growth. Every time you speak with intention, you grow stronger. Every conversation is practice. Every challenge is an opportunity. A call to action. Use your voice boldly. Now is your moment. Speak with clarity. Listen with empathy. Lead with warmth and strength. Adapt with wisdom. Speak smart in every setting, on every occasion. Let your voice be a force for good, for connection, for understanding, for impact. The journey continues. Mastering communication is a lifelong journey. There will be moments of triumph and moments of learning. There will be challenges and breakthroughs. Keep refining your voice, sharpening your mind, and deepening your presence. Your voice is alive, growing, evolving, becoming more powerful with every word. Final thought: your voice is your superpower. Use it well. Use it wisely. Use it to shape the life and the world you want. Speak smart. Win hearts. Change lives, because your voice matters more than you realize. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this exploration. I believe in your voice, and I'm excited to see how you'll use it to make a difference.